Thank you for joining NAA's daily micro webinar. My name is Stephanie Anderson, and I am the Industry Operations Manager here at the National Apartment Association. If you are new to our series, thank you so much for joining us. If you have been with us on this journey, we do welcome you back and thank you for your continued support. In an effort to provide our membership with timely operational guidance amid COVID-19, we are producing these daily updates in the form of micro webinars. Every day, we will focus on a different topic relevant to the apartment industry. At this time, I would like to direct your attention to the screen. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. Today's micro webinar is sponsored by Behr. The Behr Pro team is here to support all your professional paint needs. Whether our members are managing properties on site or working remotely, Behr is here for you. Visit Behr online for more information. Today, I am so happy to welcome back Paul Rhodes, National Safety and Maintenance Instructor for the National Apartment Association Education Institute. Paul is here again today to share his guidance on vacant apartment maintenance during COVID-19. Hello, Paul, and welcome.
Hey, Stephanie. Thanks for having me back again. We need to start by remembering the fact that while everything is in upheaval around us, particularly with the virus and all of the worries that we have, a person's home is still absolutely vital. We have to remember that life will continue. As a matter of fact, this will pass. And not if, in our rearview mirror, the apartment homes of our resident will still require repairs. In addition, we need to manage our move-ins, move-outs are still an important part of our daily life. Even though current statistics show traffic is down and renewals are up, this is not a time to relax our make-ready process. If anything, the maintenance department should increase their attention to detail. While we always want a move-in to have no complaints, it is now more important than ever to have less personal contact. This means that when maintenance is getting a vacant apartment ready, everything possible should be done to prevent a service request at move-in. For best effect, let's think through a strategy. Now, considerations in a newly empty apartment begin when maintenance arrives. Now, the considerations we have to take into effect is based upon what the CDC says. And they say that the most common method of transmission is person to person. That means that we're actually safer in an apartment than we are in an occupied apartment. However, vacant apartments are not completely without risk. According to the Center for Disease Control, COVID-19 can live on surfaces up to 3 days. Now, some operators I've spoken with, they have adjusted their move-out schedules and the work that occurs in vacant apartments by delaying entry into that apartment. In some cases, 3 days. I've spoken with one operator that actually is delaying entering an apartment until 7 days after a resident has left. It also means that our move-out inspections may be occurring without a resident there. Whatever our policy is, however we go into this, it's important that we don't panic. Remember, COVID-19 is transmitted by respiratory droplets. If there's no one there, as in a vacant apartment, no one is going to add to that danger. But the danger is diminished, it's not completely gone. That means that it is a good idea for maintenance, anybody else for that matter, that goes into a vacant apartment before work is begun to clean and sanitize. If gloves are used, remember to change your gloves often. And the whole goal of this process is to make sure that we keep the virus away from our faces. By the way, just a real quick question. right now as you listen to this recording, is it time to wash your hands again? Who would have thought that back in February, we'd be asking that question of ourselves so much? This is a part of our new normal. Now, thinking ahead when we go into a vacant apartment starts by looking at what's going to happen. We need to think before we go into that apartment, what are we going to do? With that information, we can decide on the appropriate personal protective equipment to use for our given situation. For instance, if we're going to change the locks, make sure that you start with clean gloves, change the lock, and then remove your gloves safely and clean your hands. Then go into the apartment, clean and sanitize all of the surfaces. I mean, this actually comes from what the CDC says. Their statement is to clean regularly touched surfaces. Now, in terms of maintenance, we may need to go beyond that, as a lot of times maintenance technicians touch things more than just frequently touched areas. So by cleaning and sanitizing the areas, once it's that way, since there's nobody else besides us to worry about contaminated or contamination to surfaces, we should be able to perform maintenance as is needed. In a vacant apartment, nobody else is there. It's just us. Now, we will need to take precautions for when a vendor or somebody else comes into that apartment. But we should be able to continue our normal operation. These are the things that we have to consider when we go throughout our make-ready process. Now, traditionally, maintenance just handles that make-ready apartment, that vacant apartment. Once the apartment is made, many communities, maintenance is not a part of that move-in process. Here's a suggestion. Have a visible assurance for your new resident that maintenance has been here. I mean, a lot of our communities are actually instituting a touchless leasing process. And by that, we mean procedures have been adjusted to ensure minimal direct contact between us and our residents. Now, the maintenance team can be a part of this reassurance for the move-in. One way of thinking about this is viewing the move-in the same way a hotel does with a new guest. When a hotel wants to reassure their guest of the cleanliness of their hotel room, they use tent cards. Why don't we do that? We can put a tent card on the counter or a signed cleaning checklist that can show residents of our personal dedication to detail. You know, specifically pointing out things in the apartment, such as a brand new air conditioning filter or a deodorized garbage disposal, can prove to residents, even in this time where maintenance is only responding to emergencies, we can prove that the maintenance department cares and we're happy that they've chosen us for their new rental home. You know, things like applying the clean and sanitized tape across the toilet seat or folding corners of paper towels that are on the counter. These are ways that the maintenance department can have impact on our new residents. It's things like this that are a good way that we can show we care, even in this time of limited service and repairs. Thank you for your time and that you've been together with us. I really appreciate the opportunity to share a couple of tips and some strategies to use to get apartments ready.
Paul, thank you so much. As always, you always provide great guidance for our membership, and we are truly grateful for that. Should any of our members have additional questions about anything that Paul has shared today, or really anything related to the coronavirus, please send questions, concerns, and comments to our email address at cv19questions at naahq.org. Thank you again for your time today, Paul, and thank you to all of our members for attending. We look forward to seeing you all back tomorrow for another great micro webinar. Have a fantastic day.